Well, look who's here. It's you and me. Welcome to Eric Land. All right, so you guys know that I like to try to entertain you guys in various ways. Here in Eric Land, we do RC car videos. We do some home improvement projects. We will make some music, and every now and then, I like to go off on a tangent. And these are the videos that I call the curveballs. So today, I'm going to throw you guys a little curveball, see what you can do. So let's go have some fun together. Why not? I mean, since you're here we go. Okay, today we are going to have fun with a thought experiment. I know, this might hurt, but we're going to try it anyway. It's going to be a lot of thinking, and I think I'm on track here. I think I know the answer, but once we get through this, I want you guys to let me know if I'm right, if I'm wrong, if I'm missing something. So first, okay, let's picture a perfect sphere in a theoretical space. Okay, now it has to be theoretical because we want this space to be a perfect vacuum. No influences anywhere, okay? This perfect sphere is about the size of a planet, okay? Now just stay with me now. This perfect sphere is made of something dense. I don't know, let's just say it's something solid. Just call it steel, metal, okay, whatever. It can be anything. Size of a planet, okay? So it has a lot of mass and therefore a lot of gravitational influence, okay? Now that we have this perfect sphere pictured, this huge thing, planet-sized perfect sphere in a theoretical void, theoretical vacuum. Now what we're going to do with our minds, we are going to go inside that sphere and hollow it out, okay? Now we're just going to hollow it out just a little bit so that it still has a huge amount of its mass, all right? Now that hollowed out portion inside of that sphere is also a perfect sphere, okay? Now again, none of this stuff happens in nature, which is why it is a thought experiment, okay? And for those of you that for those TikTokers out there, I know that you've already left, and so now we can talk about them. Just kidding. I'm glad that you're sticking around. All right, so this perfect sphere, this perfect sphere now has a perfectly hollowed out area inside of it, which is also a perfect sphere, okay? Next step. With our minds, let's just put inside of that perfect sphere another solid mass, which is also a perfect sphere. Okay? Now, are you guys with me? Now, all of this happens instantaneously. Okay? We can't actually go inside of this sphere and place another sphere inside of it, okay? Because if we do that, then there's motion and there's momentum and there are gravitational influences that are uneven, all right? Just keep following me now. This mass, which is now hollowed out, still has gravitational influence, okay? And when you put that other sphere in the very center of that hollowed out space, it has equal gravitational pull from all sides. Are you with me? Okay, now picture that little tiny, it's not a tiny sphere. Picture the smaller sphere inside of the larger sphere, floating, because it is equidistant on all sides to the inner side of that void, that hollowed out portion. Okay? Therefore, it has equal gravitational pull in all directions of this sphere. Okay? Are you still with me? All right, so technically, that inner sphere is floating inside of that void. Inner sphere floating inside of the void, which is inside of the planet-sized sphere that we started with. It's just floating there. No influence other than the gravitational pull of that giant sphere in all directions. Okay? Now, my thought on this is, and here's my question. If somehow we were to nudge that planet-sized sphere, all right? Some kind of force, able to just nudge it. Just like, let's just say, let's give it a push. Now it is actually moving through that perfect vacuum, all right? It has motion now. Does that inner sphere that's floating inside of that void, which is inside of that giant sphere, is it affected now by the motion of the larger sphere? In other words, if that larger sphere moves, will that smaller sphere stay in place while that larger sphere moves? Will it be affected and move towards one of the sides of that inner void based on the directionality of that larger sphere? Does any of this, are you tracking? Because my thought on this is no, that inner sphere will remain floating exactly in the center where it started when we thought it into the void, because it still has equal gravitational force in all directions coming from the larger planet-sized sphere. So, that's my thought on this. Think it out. I know thinking is hard for a lot of us, but sometimes thinking can be fun. And I want you guys to let me know down there in the comments what you think would happen given the scenario that I've described for you guys. And I look forward to interacting with you guys, okay? So, thanks for joining me for this curveball of a video. I know it doesn't have anything to do with RC cars or home improvement projects or any of the other stuff that you guys are used to seeing me do. But for those of you who actually stuck it out for this entire video, thank you. I appreciate it. Be sure to tell your friends you had some fun with Eric. And yeah, there will be more. So forward we go.